Welcome back to OPA Podcast, episode 74. Today we are just joined by the three of us today. Soup, say hi,
Hello.
along with Wyatt
Hi.
and myself, Jason O. Griffin is currently traveling right now. He's currently in Stockholm. Is that Sweden? I don't know geography.
That is Sweden.
Thank you. But yes, he's traveling right now, so he will be absent for today's episode. But he has some stuff to chime in as we go throughout the episode. But to go from there, we were just chatting about this before airing. We were trying to find the right term of what the Gophers went through this past Saturday, and we're going with they got boat raced by Purdue. Um, I need to pull up the score because I want to forget about it. 30-49 this past
Yikes.
Saturday.
It's bad.
Really bad.
Blah.
And I think I'll say this, like we had the first drive. It looked good.
Yeah, the whole first half was like weird but fine.
Yeah. And then our
And then
defense.
it didn't get better in the second half.
Well, they just like never got a stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the second half is usually sort of the defense's cleanup half. The defense plays better in the second half most of the time.
Not the last not this whole season though, right?
I mean,
Sans like the beginning of the year.
yeah, if you look at the out of conference slate, I
Yeah,
think
like
they
conference play
did.
though is what I'm saying, right?
It's tough to say with some of these games just because so few points were scored anyway. Um,
Like a
Iowa's
la
really
Iowa. Yeah.
Iowa's really tough to tell because you just don't know.
That one I don't care we won. That one just like I don't care. I'm just saying like as a trend, the defense in conference play has like given up these huge runs to like Northwestern and Illinois, right? All these games they've lost in the second half, and like it,
Yeah,
the first half was just also very bad. Like Purdue's first four drives go for touchdowns. Like that's completely unacceptable.
To their quarterback Hudson Card, who wasn't doing too good until up until this week of the game, this last week. Like I
No,
think what was it, like they were ranked like between 80 and the 90th in passing and rushing overall in FBS, and they they ran like total yards of offense was over 600 yards this game.
yeah, you give up
yep.
600 yards to anybody, you're gonna lose, and that's kind of what happened, right? Like this is a 2-7 Purdue team that you guys, this should have been like a get right game for you to get on track and get some motivation before going into the next game to just, get blown out by Ohio State, which is going to be fun to talk about. But um,
Yeah.
this was like your opportunity to like get things back on track, and you just you can't put a complete game together for whatever reason. Like your offense has given you like almost 60 points in the last two games, and you've lost both of them. Like I think the last like 2-3 games of the offense has been some of the best it's been all season, and they've lost those games, right? They scored 30 plus against Northwestern, and they lost that game, right? Like these are
It's
games
like
that
as
you should
soon as
have.
they start playing offense, they just forget how to play defense, which
Yeah,
is
they just give up big play after big play, and in this game, they finally go for touchdowns. Like they've been good at keeping those from becoming touchdowns and like limiting those to field goals. They've been good at, but this was the game where they just kind of like regressed to the mean all at once. And like, I think part of it's because of injury. You give no Cody Lindenberg out there, which interesting tinfoil hat thing I've heard on the Twitter sphere that's definitely like I don't know, it's just like a coaching theory thing, so it doesn't it's just interesting to think about. So Cody missing this game allows him to play a fourth game against like Ohio State and Wisconsin will be his third and fourth games
So he can get a
of the
medical
year
red shirt.
and get an extra year of eligibility and come back next year.
That's a
Interesting.
tinfoil hat conspiracy right there.
So I'm just saying that is an interesting thing to think about, for Cody having the best game of his career here, probably against Illinois, and then all of a sudden he's injured again. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
And then another linebacker who I know we kind of like hit on him hardest when he doesn't make the tackles or plays, but Maverick Baranowski going out
Yeah,
in the second quarter in the game.
and he had been playing better too.
Yeah. I think like most improved as the season has gone on, like trial by fire, learning from his mistakes and growing. I think that's what we've been asking of him. And just to see him like just standing on the sideline, can't go back out there to play. And I think it was likely a concussion, possibly, but
It looked like he was holding his arm to me.
Okay.
But that's really unfortunate because, like you said, Maverick has really improved a lot this season, and that's been a nice development. But they're down to it's very thin there, and they're down to like a true freshman getting his first snaps in a Big Ten game, and they just attacked the poor kid like the rest of the game. It was like they just started running zone read and like making this kid like make a decision, and he was just like always wrong. And I think we also saw like the worst game from the defensive line all year, because I really expected them to have much more of an impact on this game.
Oh, definitely. Like to touch on the guy, it was true freshman linebacker Matt Kingsbury who just got slaughtered this game by the Purdue offense.
Well, I mean,
But,
yeah, that's going to happen. Like, they're just going to attack the new guy.
Yeah.
The coaches all see that, and it's just the nature of where they're at injury-wise there, and they keep trying to play like zone coverage for pass, and people just don't know their assignments because they just don't have that many reps together and all of these things. And like that position is like very hard in this Joe Rossi defense because you have a lot of responsibility. And then you make a mistake in that kind of coverage, and it's just like so easy for a quarterback, right?
But no, back to the D line. Like, I was not shocked, but I was like, had that WTF. Like, where has been that pressure we've had the last 2 weeks? Like, obviously, our defense dominated Michigan State a few weeks ago. Besides that one busted play to get that touchdown to put Illinois up 27-26, I thought we were competitive, but I'm not sure what happened with that D line. And then same thing as you
I
mentioned.
mean, it's a bad game, and I think it's okay. Like, units have bad games, but it's just magnified by like all these things we've been talking about, right? With like injuries at linebacker, you're down to inexperienced guys, and like I think people hear PJ say that after the game and get upset, and I think it's fair, but he also has a point. Like, I agree with people who are like, well, the depth should be better at this point, and it's like, well, they're down to like middle linebacker 4. It's like it's not that in the middle of a game. Like, this kid probably hasn't even gotten like a lot of second team reps yet, like he's still learning, still physically getting ready for the Big Ten. And he gets exploited, and their whole position group gets exploited because, kind of the issue with the defense this year has been they've been trying to jump these plays and make more explosive plays on defense, and they're just getting burned for it a lot more this year.
And what I've noticed too, and I'm not sure if this is what Joe Rossi wants to, you can tell when Cody or Maverick's on the field. Do you guys ever notice like they're the ones always if there's a change in the play,
or your signal callers,
or your assignments, like they've been your signal callers on the defensive side of the ball. Once you lose those two guys, there's no one. I don't want to say no one, but like there has been a third person to like take the reins if those two are off the field. And as you can tell, Maverick has greatly improved, got better with with the play calling on his side to make sure our guys are set. Because remember, Cody was out for a good chunk of games this season too. So once you lose that, I think, as you said, Sue, it just magnified the whole thing. The depth of the linebacker, D line not getting pressure. and not guys not going on assignments, just magnify it, and boom, we we let Purdue score 49 points, all touchdowns, um, and that was the result. And our offense can only muster 30 points, with some of them being questionable, especially with some fourth downs. But we'll get to that. But yeah,
Yeah, but 30 points should be enough to win you this game, right?
yeah,
Like that's kind of like you give up 28 points in the first half in the first 4 drives, and like you kind of hang with them, and you come close at the end there to scoring another touchdown almost. And I hate the punt though, but that's whatever. Like the punt is like super lame from like your own 48 or whatever it was, you know, like bleh. But I don't know. I think the offense should be kind of commended for this game because if you look at the numbers, they were like very good. They were very efficient, and this is a game that the offense should have won. Like, and Ethan wasn't really good in the second half at all, but that's I think a different conversation than like what they accomplished against this team.
but I think we should note the positives though from like this game offensively. Crab makes an amazing catch in the end zone to score that touchdown. Same thing with was it Daniel Jackson? Um,
Yeah,
like
DJ's still really good.
yeah,
Newsflash.
D-Jack is really good, and then Crab, despite being out for a majority of the season, you know, still had the finesse to catch that ball with one hand and bring it to his chest. So like those were great. Like I think there's silver lining. I know Wyatt. When we did it last episode of the pod, try to find the positives in all
Yeah.
this. We still have a good receiving core.
No, I think the offense is like finding. I think the offense has the personnel and they have the confidence where if you're going to play man coverage against them like Purdue does a lot of the time, like they're totally fine just pushing the ball downfield against those teams. Like I think that's like a good development to see that they were just like willing to keep throwing because that's how they were making plays and they kept making plays and they scored 30 points. And like this should be a game that they win, 30 to uh or 28 or whatever to like 23. You know what I mean? Like and we should be like, all right, like the offense won a game. Oh my god, but like you just can't give up 600 yards to this Purdue team. Like you give up 300 yards rushing. They've been good against the run all year, but they just fall apart in a game where their offense really needed them.
And their offense didn't need them to do that much.
Thank you. Yes.
Their offense needed them to prevent Purdue from scoring 3 of the 7 touchdowns they scored.
Yeah.
And they win that football game. Stop Purdue 3 times and you can win that football game.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it.
And, I want to point out that the leader in win percentage added for this game for the Gophers is Brevin Spanford, 15% added. I thought he was wonderful, and I would love to see them get in the ball more. I mean, I think the accuracy issues are warranted for Ethan, but at least they are trying right now, I guess. Question mark?
Can it get better without him throwing the ball?
I mean, I mean, I think yeah, I think Ethan really needs to develop his like short kind of touch game.
Yeah.
Like his 9 iron and in, you know what I mean? Like those throws I think he needs to develop a little more touch on right now, and I don't think he's confident in them. And I think that's kind of hurting because that's kind of where Brevin shines and then after the catch. But I really like that what they did in the first half, but like it feels like they kind of over adjust in the second half where they just go away from things that were working sometimes and try and like outthink the other coaches. But it's to me it's like just like it's like when you play Madden, like you really only have like 7 or 8 plays that you really like. And like you just are like, you have to be able to stop these. I'm going to do slight variations of these from different formations, and whichever one you can't stop, we're just going to do until you stop it.
And then we're
And
gonna switch to something else that you then can't stop.
exactly, right? And they just like try and like get ahead of that, and it's just like, just don't, like, it's okay. And I think they really miss like the Darius Taylor right now, and it's a shame they don't trust Sean Tyler, and Zach Evans isn't fully healthy. So I think they're in a tough spot right now, honestly, when it comes to like how the health is affecting the top of the roster. So it's unfortunate because their analytics numbers are all so good on offense for this game. Like we've been saying all year, they need to be better of staying ahead of the sticks, right? Like being successful on early downs. They were 49% successful on early downs this game. That's a huge improvement for them. And they're like 44% on late downs, which I think hurt them, but overall they were pretty efficient on offense. And they just, Jason, you mentioned this earlier, they just can't put a complete game together for some reason.
Like defense lost you the game, but offense tried to will us alive.
And they made their mistakes too. Like
Yep.
there's some key drops on offense. I think they had 4 or 5 drops, but
A couple from Elijah Spencer and stuff like that. But again, like this is like the best we've seen the offense play so far.
in like consecutive games, they've been pretty. They've like gotten better. They've been efficient. Like they're not really putting the passing game away completely. Like they're going to it a little more, and then there's execution errors that are coming. But like they're kind of finding a rhythm here. They've put up points in their last few games, and I think this is an interesting stat I got from Ryan Burns. And in Ethan's first 12 starts, he had 7 big time throws. In the 4 games since the bye week this year, how many do you guys think he has?
21.
Love where your head's at, Jason.
15.
Wyatt. It's 13, but that's 13 in 4 games as opposed to 7 over his first 12. So, I mean, he had 5 against Purdue, which was a career high in one game for him. So, I think he's playing better with like the game script and the stuff they put together for the first half. And I think when they adjust and it's like not the stuff that they've made, some stuff maybe they haven't worked on all week, but like this works against this coverage, we you know what I mean? But we practiced this a couple weeks ago, stuff like that. I think it's a little slower for him in the second half. And once you get like deeper into that playbook, and that's okay right now for him, but I think that's kind of where you're seeing these issues pop up.
With that in mind, though, too, look, a little bit digression here, but after this past weekend of games, Iowa sits now alone in first for the Big Ten West.
They're gonna win 10 games, and I hate it.
Yeah, and then there's right now a 5-way tie for second.
Heck yeah.
Us, Illinois, Northwestern, Nebraska, and I think Wisconsin. Obviously, Purdue is the lone one in 7th. So it's absolute chaos in the West these past couple of weeks.
Just a garbage division.
It's kind of poetic though, right?
Honestly, yeah.
Like this is the last year of the Big Ten West. This is how it should be.
Just being absolute chaos and shit until Iowa goes to the Big Ten championship again.
Their end, we're gonna be garbage.
Yeah, Michigan gets disqualified, Ohio State goes, and Iowa's like at the like Citrus Bowl or some weird like something like that, right? So annoying.
Ross.
Or Outback Bowl, or whichever decent bowl game they get.
Yeah. but we have the thing that matters.
The pig. We got the pig. But I do want to touch on lastly on special teams. Not much to say besides I'm not sure why this one still resonate like still in my mind. I think
Their special teams weren't the worst special teams out there today.
Yeah.
That was something.
it was, but I think what was it? Dragon missed. I didn't know we missed a field goal until I had to watch the replay.
Yeah.
I think it was a 39-yarder, which
It's a tough one.
which he usually makes, but it was. I was like, ouch, that kind of hurts.
Whatever.
But
Yeah,
all right,
it's just whatever. Like, I don't care. He's not my issue at this point.
true.
Like,
It's still like we love Dragon. At least like he's
I'll
been-
echo PJ Flex comments about Michigan when it comes to Dragan Kesic. Did you hear about that?
Oh, was it the I have 99 problems and Michigan ain't one of them?
Yes.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's me with Dragan Kesic.
We got 99 problems and Dragon ain't one of them. So, but I know we have 2 more games left in the season, but I wanted to ask this to you guys.
We have one more game left.
One more game. But how do you guys feel so far at what we've seen? I know like we've been bitching about it like all week or all season, but like where do you guys stand like in terms of like what you see in our current team? Because if you think about it, likely we're going 6-6, or if somehow we blow it with Wisconsin, which is likely 5-7, where do you think this is all headed, and what do you guys think about the roster?
I think Wisconsin becomes like a must-win game for you this year. Losing to
Yeah.
Wisconsin at the end of the year and then not being bowl eligible would be like a nightmare scenario for vibes going into the off season.
I know, like I was just saying, like, hey,
Like
it's,
you have the
it could happen.
pig to point to, but like this Wisconsin team, like you are better than, but whatever.
Yeah. Like I think I'll start off like right now looking at the current team. Like I think we got better after the bye, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
So I think that is a great development going into the new year, new season, especially the growth for Ethan, as you mentioned, Soup. Like he needs to get better in his like short yardage throws and playbook, which he's been struggling with, and maybe develop like learn the offense, because I think maybe it's just me, but I think when you shifted from Kirk Shiraka offense as your OC and quarterbacks coach, so now Greg Harbaugh, who wasn't in that position, I think there's going to be some learning pains. And I think that was what happened early season. But I think going forward, offense will be better from what I'm seeing.
Well, it has been better.
Yeah, it has been. And I think it will get better. Kind of like, again, the expectations we had at the end of last season going into this one was that we thought Ethan would take the next step. It was more like he stayed the same at the start of the season and then got better.
Well, he's showing some progress.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as we would have liked, but
I don't think Ethan took a full step.
Yes.
But I think that he's shuffling forward.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. That's it.
And then
Like, yeah.
that's on Ethan. And then going on to the running back room, I know PJ said something about like if we don't have more money in NIL, we might lose a Darius Taylor kind of player.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Which is right on that part. But if we assume the case of Darius Taylor coming back, Zach Evans and Jordan Newman, because I think Bryce Williams is done after this season. Which okay, thanks for confirming that. Then you have
Bryce Williams has to be like 30 years old.
honestly. Yeah. But if you think about it, we have that now pair and a spare. Like Darius and Zach are amazing runners, and then
Both need to get healthy.
But then as your spare, Jordan's looking good too. So I'm confident in the running back. We just got to get healthy and not give him 30 to 40 carries a game or more. In my opinion,
there's been no period where I haven't been fully confident in the Gophers' ability to run the football. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing that seems to work no matter what.
Yeah, I think the passing game has made strides, and like as someone who's like been hard on it when it's been bad, like I want to make sure I say that it's like I think it's taking a step forward, but it's a shame to see. No offense to Jordan Newman, but like I kind of wish I was seeing these carries go to Darius Taylor. You know what I mean? Like it, it's really hard to evaluate what's really going on right now because you just don't have like your best, like nothing is going well for you really anywhere, and it's just all so hard, and you can't seem to figure it out.
Oh, definitely. Um, and then I'll touch on the last part of the team, defense. I just I was talking with my coworker about it today because he's like, "Hey, what happened with the Purdue game?" And I was like, one of them was injuries to the linebackers. Is they're very thin there now. So again. I think Cody still has another year or two after this season.
Hmm.
So having Cody back healthy, same with Maverick Baranowski being back as well, and then obviously likely trial by fire for like our younger linebackers coming in, if they don't
they'll
play.
they'll hit the portal for one.
Yeah,
They tried one this year and he hasn't been good. It's the first one they've really kind of like that hasn't worked out.
yep,
That's gonna happen. So I think they'll just go looking for a linebacker again and probably a safety,
yeah.
to be honest with
I was
you.
going to mention that like I think for sure PJ is going to PJ and the staff are going to hit the portal, especially for the linebacking position and safety. Um, but if you look at it like now that I look at overall and like sequestering myself, like okay, let's not think about like the bad stuff that happened because like again recency bias. But
Sure.
you look at overall, we do have talent on this team. It's just that it hasn't executed, especially like winning a complete game all year.
Hmm.
So I think if there's something to be excited about, because like I think we talked about it already, PJ is not gonna get fired this year. I know some fans are chipping a bit. Even my uncle's like, I think PJ is gonna get fired. I'm like,
No,
no, I don't think so. Like
I'd pump the brakes.
like I pump the brakes there, and then like, but going from there, I think we can be excited what the team can hold after this. Again, like injuries, um, and many other factors are coming into play. But obviously, it's not an excuse for this season. Like we came in to try to at least fight for the West because this is the last year for divisions, and it's not panning out
No,
the
I
way
mean
we
like
are.
I wish we were having this talk like 3 week, after like week 3 or 4 when like we're like, oh, so we know what's going on with this season. It's been so up and down that we just like it's hard to know. But this game is just such a gut punch,
Definitely, yeah,
especially after the Illinois game too. Like it's just like, oh my god, like why does this keep happening?
and the thing with the Illinois game, it was a fun game. Yes, it was a roller coaster, but like especially like I think when we were down 1 point and we're on our 25, like all we need to do is just get close enough for Dragon just to kick the damn ball and take the win. And it didn't happen that way.
It's
So,
unfortunate.
um, there's a lot of things that fell short this season. I will say that, but I think,
Yeah, I think that's the point, right?
yep. Sorry, why I think Soup and I took a lot of the chunk of this podcast. Did you had anything else to mention?
Like losing to Purdue takes a lot of the wind out of my sails. That's and I know that there's positives to take away from the game, but it's just like one of those losses where it's like, where's the excuse? Like, you're the better team, no doubt, right?
No,
We didn't doubt that we have a better team than Purdue.
you didn't lose by that much. Like you were like 5 EPA, total EPA different. It's like they were just much more explosive, and
No,
that
yeah,
killed
like
you.
they and by all means they shouldn't have lost. And then just like the aspect of the team that we thought was the strongest, just like really put an exclamation point on the fact that they're not as good as we thought they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's, and I don't want to take away from the fact that there's positives to take away from this game. The receiving room looks as good as they have all year. Um, Obviously, the running backs weren't as prominent in this one, but like there's still a lot to believe in there, and the special teams actually held it together. But like that's just a tough loss to eat.
Yeah.
Like, and you could say they were unbelievably explosive all day, and we still only lost by 19. But you also lost by 19.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you gave up almost 50 points, 600 yards of total offense. It's like
600 yards of total offense is like, how does that even happen against a team that's 2-7?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Because I'm thinking about the score that we lost to in that capacity was Michigan earlier this season. And obviously, besides the turmoil that they're going through,
That's
like,
because they cheated, but whatever.
but like, you think about it, top 5 team in the country putting that much on you, like, I was expecting that, but not against a 2-win Purdue, or at the time a 2-win Purdue team, now 3-win.
Dude, when Nicole Auerbach was tweeting about that news first breaking, I like replied to her tweet. It was like right after we got crushed, and I was like, "Vacate the win," and I got like a
Vacate
ton
the
of likes
win.
on it. I was like, "That's why they beat my Gophers by 40," and then like I got like a ton of likes on it. It's just I was just like, "Oh, but wait, it might actually happen."
And then Jim Harbaugh suspended. I don't know if we mentioned that last
Yeah,
week, but
ouchie, my wrist. Oh, it hurts.
yeah. Anything else to touch on with this game?
Yeah, sadness, pain.
Yeah, but they knew that.
Yep.
The listeners all know our pain at this point.
Well, the next game is just gonna be more pain. I'm not gonna watch it coming up. But going into game 11, the Gophers play against Ohio State, who's currently, I think they're still ranked number 1 in the
Yep.
country. Um, Going into the betting numbers, Ohio State minus 27.5, over under at 49.5.
I don't even know if I want to take them to cover. It's a lot of points, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean,
They just gave up 600 yards to Purdue. Who knows?
yeah. And
How many
this
yards?
offense
How
is
many yards does Marvin Harrison have? That's my question.
like, are you talking about specifically how many yards do you expect him to have in this game?
What's the betting line? I'm taking the over, whatever it is.
I bet
You're
you.
taking over 49.5.
Whatever his betting line is, I'm taking the over.
I'm looking it up right now.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, by the way, this game is going to be a 3 p.m. kickoff, airing on Big Ten Network. If you're planning to watch the game or listen on the radio through the Gopher Radio Network, do want to mention that. Almost forgot. He has 1,063 yards on the season and 12 touchdowns.
God, I wish I could find this prop bet just to see what it's at.
I don't care what it is. Smash it.
There's no way that the prop can be less than like 120 yards, right?
Smash. Smash.
Like a prop bet on wide receiver receiving yards is almost never over 100 yards.
Is his
But like,
touchdowns 1.5 or less? Smash.
would you not smash at 2.5?
No.
Would
Two.
you? Would you
Two
still
is kind of
raise hazard a bet?
I think he has like 230 and 2 or something like that.
I mean, during the last game against Michigan State, Marvin Harrison Jr. had 149 yards and 2 tutties.
It's not going to be pretty. This is not going to be a good football game to watch.
ESPN has a 97.1% favoring Ohio State. And they won out of the last 5. Purdue 41-7, Penn State 20-12, Wisconsin 24-10, Rutgers 35-16, and Michigan State 38-3.
This one might be ugly.
Yep.
It'll be kind of nice to watch, like Marvin Harrison Jr. though, like some semi closely, because I'll probably watch the first half while eating wings with people. So
You'll
uh,
probably be watching Marvin Harrison Jr. on Sundays. So
yeah, but like as a Bears fan who might actually have a shot at him, it's exciting.
yeah, that's the guy that I would expect the Bears to go get. That's just my 2 cents on that, but
No, we can get into my theory for the Bears off the pod.
that's probably fair. That's an all-day experiment right there.
But going into the game though, is it Kyle McCord? Says
Yes.
Yeah.
has been getting better as the season's
Sure.
gone on.
Hate that.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's Emeka Ibuka and Marvin Harrison are both healthy, and it turns out it's pretty nice to throw to them.
Yes. So go be a very explosive and good offense, very great offense that we're facing. So Joe Rossi defense will get cooked. But it'd be interesting to see how Wally and Newbin hold up in the secondary against, those guys. But we'll see.
Doesn't matter. We saw what happened at Goolsby in North Carolina.
Yeah, unfortunately. But not much to mention. Defense is also good.
You can get Marvin Harrison Jr. at 6-1 right now to win the Heisman. That's
Interesting.
pretty juicy.
That's surprising.
It's pretty juicy.
Isn't Bo Nix like top runner right now for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
It's not Caleb Williams anymore. I know that.
I don't think anyone's a shoo-in, and I think Marvin really is the best player. So
Hopefully Marvin gets it. Honestly, though, I'm kind of tired of all the quarterbacks that kept winning.
there's your tip. Sports bettors 6-1. Marvin Harrison Jr. Heisman Trophy. Go get it.
But going on from there, anything else to touch on with this Ohio State team that we're playing on Saturday?
It's gonna hurt. I don't know. Like, I would like to see them like hang in there, put up a respectable fight.
If the Gophers can even keep this within the spread,
Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yeah.
That's genuinely unbelievable.
Yeah, if they can keep this like a 2-score game, I'll be surprised.
Well, speaking of which, let's get into predictions. So Griffin sent this prediction before we aired while he was in Sweden. He predicted, we all predicted losses preseason.
I've already clinched. We've been
yeah,
over this.
I know you clinched, but going into predictions here, Griffin says we'll lose
Absolute shocker.
Oh, okay. No, keep going.
17-52 from Griffin. So it looks like he's taking the over on that. But I think we're going to keep it closer, and we're going to lose 13-35.
What's the total?
49.5 over under. So I'm taking the under.
Give me that.
17-34. All right.
Sure.
What about you, Wyatt?
I think they get a garbage time touchdown. Then they're at like 10 all game.
I'll take I'm gonna be a little bit kinder than Griff here, but not really. Um, let's go with 45-6.
Dragon gets 2 field goals.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the field goals rather than the
Yeah.
touchdown missed extra point.
Yeah, can
I
see that.
wonder I wonder if this only doesn't get like too out of hand just because Ohio State just sits all their good players at a certain point because they don't care about this game. So
Very true.
that would be interesting.
This game does not matter because the next week they have Michigan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like at a certain point they will just be like, we are going to keep our, top level talent off the field. We are going to be ready for Michigan. Minnesota is beneath us.
Yeah.
I mean,
They'll
you're
be
right.
up at that point like 21 or like they'll be up like 24-10 at that point and just be like, all right, we're done here. We're going to score like 2 more touchdowns though.
We're going to score 2 more touchdowns with our third string guys.
Yikers. Especially a mobile QB. I don't know what's what. I know I'll mention it but for some reason our defense still can't cover a mobile QB.
It's because our linebackers are bad when we've been over this.
I know. But all right. That's the recap for no, that's not recap. I'm tired. That's the preview for Ohio State.
Time is a flat circle with this team. It's fine.
But other than that, just some quick news dumps.
The Jim Harbaugh stuff is weird. The Jim Harbaugh stuff is so weird right now.
Oh, do you want to share it to the audience?
I just mean like the coach like crying and like acting like Jim Harbaugh is like dead and they like dedicating this game to him when they were like caught cheating.
Oh yeah, the post game last
It's like
week.
the weirdest thing. It's like they're all like pretending like they've been so wrong, and it's like, what? Nobody. What are you guys doing?
It's funny.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher got fired, and he has like what 75 to 77 million that they're gonna pay him out with for the next few years.
Woo!
So he's getting the bag.
Yeah, I
Getting
don't.
for not coaching, which is the same thing that happened with Scott Frost.
Yep.
Yeah. And Matt Rule's still getting paid by the Panthers.
Is he though? Or I thought it got nullified if he got another coaching job, right? Like as a head coach? Or am I wrong?
don't know. I think he still had a certain amount of money that was guaranteed that they were just going to lump some out, though.
Got it. Then other than that, I
don't. No complaining about NIL, to the weird people out there, right? Like,
Yep.
Look at this Jimbo Fisher thing, Scott Frost, Matt Rule. Look at all these coaches who make all this money to be not good. So
All these coaches who make all these money to be not good and then complain about the fact that players can make money.
Oh,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Dabo Sweeney.
Dabo, Mr. I will quit football if players are paid, Sweeney.
It's just, oh man, Dabo Sweeney pisses me off now.
Yeah.
He used to piss me off a little back then, but now he just pissed me off even more, especially with the current climate of college football. But yeah.
Did you see A&M gave Jimbo a blank national trophy plaque
I did see that.
when they first hired him in 2018?
They did?
They're-
What?
And they're like, you have to put the date on it though. Like they already printed one up and had it blank and just like gave it to him at the opening ceremony.
My goodness.
They were so convinced they were going to win a national title.
Yeah. So was Desmond Howard that one year.
Yeah.
That was funny. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wonder if PJ would have done that with like a Big Ten West plaque.
Co-champions. Co-champions.
2019.
Now it just says co-champions 2019. Hang your hat on that.
Nice.
Oh, some more Gopher related news dump. Last week the Gophers split their series with Michigan, winning on Friday night, coming back
That's
winning
fine.
4-3, and then tying with them 2-2, but losing to the shootout. So
That's fine.
Michigan got the extra point for conference play. Basketball played well.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the best team in Gopherland right now,
Oh,
which
I
is
was gonna say
somehow
everyone's
men's
healthy.
basketball?
My guy Parker Fox, shout out you. He's healthy.
Healthy. We'll take it.
Like this is an undefeated Gopher basketball team.
Yeah.
They're fun, huh?
They're like they're not gonna stay undefeated, I don't think, but there's
No,
something.
they're fun. You can say it. It's okay.
They're sort of rowdy, and it's gonna be interesting to watch.
You Minnesota fans are so scared. So scared.
They're
You miss.
they
You're
are
gonna miss.
fun.
Take it from someone who's been just nothing but sad when it comes to like football fandom. You know, my life. Just appreciate what you have in front of you.
Yeah,
The grass isn't always greener.
that's true.
Women's basketball also doing well. from the
Yep,
looks
they
of it.
lit it up their first game too. That was crazy.
Can we talk about Boye Mafe?
Oh,
Setting
yes.
Seahawks franchise records. Yes.
Yeah, the greatest player in Seattle apparently.
Yeah. I mean, well, these people play pretty well too, but yeah.
Yeah.
Boye is doing
What a
very
god.
well, and Tweezy is doing very great things at Tampa Bay as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Tanner Morgan got cut from the practice squad again. I'm not sure.
Snap,
Is-
snap, snap.
Is Blake Cashman still having himself a decent season?
Yeah, with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
He's like an impact player for them.
keep it up. Keep it up, my guy.
Blake cashing those checks, that's for sure.
Honestly, he is. Yeah. But yeah, no. A lot of our former Gophers doing well in the NFL.
Good for them.
I'm trying to rattle them out. So Tweezy is still in there. Blake Cashman, Devondre Campbell.
Tea Time just sat this past week for the Bears, I believe.
He's got mono.
Oh, he's sick. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
He's
confused
had
why he's
mono
back.
for like
so.
a month.
Rip.
Yeah. He was like pushing for CB2 reps though when he was healthy. So
Well, Tweezy.
I don't-
T-time
I don't think mono is going to be the same, as an injury when he comes back. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to have the same limitations.
yeah, he'll be fine.
Rashad
take minutes.
Bateman, Daniel Falele. Did Daniel play?
No, but he's good depth for them.
Yeah. Let's see who else. Carter Coughlin still with the Giants.
Yep.
Not much to talk about if you're a Giant, though.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito,
Oh yeah.
Illinois legend.
Illinois legend Tommy DeVito.
He got that dirty look from. I only I saw the picture swirling around from the broadcast. Like Brian Daboll is like looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
They're excited that he threw for 86 total yards.
Yeah, that's the situation over there is something else.
It is not good. I'll tell you that.
We can see the same for
There-
Arizona too.
There have to be better quarterbacks on the market than Tommy DeVito.
Hey, I'm just being happy that we
But
walked
do they
away
want to
with.
pay them? They just paid Daniel Jones a ton of money.
True. I'm just happy that the Vikings won out on that trade with the Cardinals, only trading a 6th for Josh Dobbs and a 7th, and
Yeah.
we're on a wild ride, 2-0 with him. Right now, 6-4, 7. Right now, currently 7th seed in the playoffs ended today. So I am enjoying this ride.
We're having fun. We're having fun here.
Unlike Griffin on our group chat today.
How was your first game?
Oh yes. So for our listeners and viewers, this past Sunday was my first NFL game as a fan. Because you think about it, Super Bowl didn't really count, and all the
Nope.
other NFL games didn't really count because we were performing at halftime, and we were always in like the switchbacks or tunnel, never getting a chance to watch the actual game.
You don't actually get to see anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so-
annoying.
Yeah, I don't think I watched a single snap of that entire Super Bowl.
We had the radios to listen in on that, but nope. No, it was a good game. Doing the skull chant, actually standing there and doing it, watching the game as Josh Dobbs scores his throwing and rushing touchdown that game. It was a fun time. And then also seeing the skull line as well. We know some guys in that group there, so shout out to them and hooking me and my girlfriend up with tickets. Looking at you, Ryan Matuzik. Hopefully you're listening. Love to you. But other than
If
that,
not, you're dead to him.
but other than that, it was a great time, and my wallet still hurts from buying stadium food, if I have to say that,
Oh,
Probably not the
God, why
only
did you
thing.
do that?
because we were hungry.
Probably.
But we treated ourselves afterwards after the win and went to Hong Kong Noodle for some good Chinese
Oh
food.
yeah.
If you guys didn't know as well, that block, I think Hong Kong Noodle might be staying, but I don't know. You guys heard about those two buildings where that Kung Fu Tea and Caribou is? So the building across from them is getting torn down. So the one with European wax, sport clips, and that Chinese restaurant are now gone.
Kowloon is gone.
Kowloon is gone. That building's gonna be torn
No.
down.
Oh,
Don't. It came back from the fire, and now this. No.
Yeah. And then the building
That's
across
so tragic.
and then the building across on Mesa Pizza's gone. And Caribou, Kung Fu Tea, and Burger King are still there, but they're slated for, I think, later next year to also be leaving and or closing shop, and that building is gonna be torn down. And I just don't know if that liquor shop and Kung Fu Tea, no, not Kung Fu Tea, Kong Kong Noodle will be there still. I haven't confirmed with the workers or owners yet, but for the word is they're building new apartments in that general lot.
Good. Just what we need.
Yeah, so poor Kowloon is gone.
Are they gonna be overpriced?
Yeah. Hold on, I got the
high-rise
the
units?
inside scoop on that I can tell you guys off the pod.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but yeah,
End it.
yeah. So we'll end the pod here. But everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching OPA podcast. Sorry, it was all mostly sad, including the changes in Stadium Village. But we'll see you guys next week to recap Ohio State, but also preview our last game of the season against our rival, the Wisconsin Badgers. Fuck the Badgers. But other than that, we'll see you guys next time. I'm one of your hosts, Jason O, along with Soup
Sadness.
and Wyatt.